Welcome back, friends. We are carrying forward with innovation in pricing strategies, and I started deciphering some tactical perspective for you, wherein individualized pricing was the initial most point. Now, let me carry forward from there and build upon further case around tactics. And you see, these are learnings. This is a learning which has evolved in due course of time, and authors, they have gone for extensive details in terms of understanding that learning, developing that learning and putting in front of us in terms of important text. And then there are several examples which we are trying to collate while deciphering this for you. And if you will keep on developing this sphere of innovation in marketing with the help of examples and surfing more deep into examples, you would enjoy this more. And then the objective of this course is to establish the relevance and value of innovation within marketing and to find out where it can be done, how it can be done. And then again, another objective is to go for how to market innovations, because this is all through an innovative world and we are focusing upon that, and we should know how to do that. So, let us go for another element of innovation in pricing tactics, that is flat fees. You see, telephone companies, train companies, health clubs, amusement parks, restaurants, internet retailers, Amazon's free shipping Prime program, and even executive airline companies, example California based Surf Air, allow customers unlimited consumption for a fixed fee. They have calculations around that. They have a perspective around the total revenue generation, that is for sure. They are looking into costs also. They are working on everything. They are looking into competition and beyond competition and strategic perspective also. But the point is that they are innovating through pricing to associate their product offering in totality with whatever innovation they are looking into price. Or for example, they are coming from the product side, then price is supporting that. Customer preference for flat fees is typically not motivated purely by economic interests. Customers usually end up paying more with a flat fee than with a conventional pay per use plan, yet their satisfaction is higher. We have observed through several market researches, several eminent authors, and I have repeatedly been quoting Daniel Kahneman and his researches, and several such other authors. They have contributed immensely in terms of our understanding of consumer behavior and customer behavior. And you see, and we usually experience that. We give a one time fee. For example, you have purchased the link to or the subscription to an OTT platform, you have paid a fee and you watch for completely continuously for 1 month. For example, in COVID-19, when people were confined to their homes, they were continuously watching several kinds of movies and programs, and they spend more time on that. Today, when things are getting normal and we are moving ahead, then we have reduced that kind of a time. But this is in totality an advantageous situation for the company as well as for the customer as such. So, customers thus pay more and are nevertheless happier. Creative discounting is there. Leading edge companies apply creativity to their discounting practices rather than slash prices across the board. These include non-linear pricing, whereby prices develop non-linearly with product volume. This tactic can be found in air travel, special offers where spouses pay less than full prices in business class. This has also been used by mobile phone companies, wherein family subscription is there and those kind of things are there. Banking services, you find these kind of things, wherein monthly account fee drops with the number of products attained by account holders, and in all instances where paid for membership cards, example Costco, entail purchases at discounted prices. Very interesting kind of a thing. And you see, these are, as I said, these evolve in due course of time. When you are deeply associated with the market and your innovation and you want to take it to the customer, and customer is also associated with you, AI is also helping you and so on. So, steadily decreasing discounts, whereby discounts are gradually phased out. Example, in week 1 it is 40%, week 2 is 30%, 3 it is 20%, as opposed to an immediate reduction in discounts under high-low pricing. Steadily decreasing discounts lead to higher future price expectations of customers. Prices increase over time as discounts are gradually phased out, which in turn leads to greater quantities purchased in the current period. An interesting thing. Then again an element of creative discounting, wherein bonus packs whereby volume can be used to imply savings. Customers mistakenly seem to associate a price reduction corresponding to the amount of bonus offered. Although customers should be indifferent between a 33% price reduction and a 50% bonus pack, both lead to the same per unit price. I referred to this kind of an example in my earlier discussions as well. And you see, when I was talking to, as far as when toothpaste and these kind of things, they increase their as far as the product goes, or decrease the product in totality. So that kind of a thing, it happens largely. So 33% and 50% the bonus pack. Now customers prefer the bonus pack, again consumer research, customer research, even in circumstances where the bonus pack leads to higher average prices than discounts. Example, 35% bonus pack versus 30% discount. So you see, and we have talked about this, the perspective behind this. Customers thus associate higher numbers, example 35% free product, with greater savings, although actual prices paid are higher. Then creative free, whereby discounts are earned via creative actions. Instead of fully charging for supplementary services which customers could perceive as greedy by, as far as the marketers go, or giving them away for free, which hurts profits also, and then you have to innovate upon several kinds of services which you just do not want to give, in terms of those services being complementary, and later you want to differentiate those services at different kind of products also. That can also become become a reality at the end of the day. So leading companies apply creativity to select free supplementary services. For instance, Hilton Hotels in California allows free parking at its hotel facilities for all guests under one circumstance: it applies to electric vehicles only. In this way, the company actually improves its ability to charge for parking. In addition, through this policy, customers perceive Hilton as environment friendly, even if they have to pay for parking and so on. And while booking hotels, while booking for rooms around the world, you would realize that there is a drop down which says that would you prefer Wi-Fi, would you prefer this, would you prefer that, would you prefer hot water, would you prefer tea maker in your room, would you prefer refrigerator in your room. And that is how differentiation in the service, differentiation in the price, all these things, they keep on coming together, and many times it leads to, and I referred to it in last time when airlines, they ask for, would you care for airport taxi, would you care for extra support on airports, and so on. Innovation in pricing is indeed possible even in the absence of product innovation. That is an important element. Up till now we have been building the case in consonance with each other, but this also is an important element which I thought that should be focused upon while talking about innovation in pricing as such. So companies that put strong emphasis on product innovation without similar emphasis on pricing innovation are missing important opportunities for value capture, as the author says. For example, instead of pricing high speed train tickets in Europe in line with airline tickets, many formerly state owned railway companies have set prices at only moderate premiums over conventional train services. Now you see, that happens in many of the cases, and if you would realize that it's very it's very interesting. When we started focusing upon low cost airlines, we started comparing ourselves with the high side train tickets. From the train side, could we differentiate that? For example, we are going for high speed trains in India now. Sometimes I wonder that what kind of a product differentiation, price differentiation definitely is there, and that is why the author says that it can be without product differentiation. But sometimes I wonder that can trains position themselves in comparison to flights? For example, we are talking of a 500-kilometer journey from Delhi to Lucknow. You have high speed trains which take 6 hours, and the total flight time is 1 hour, but the airport time, travelling to airport, then travelling from airport, and boarding up, so boarding time and waiting time all together makes it 4.5 or 5 hours. And then train serves you food as well. Then you have larger movability within the train, and so on. There are several kinds of advantages if you are traveling with a family, it's a relaxed environment. Then there is newspaper which is served, and several things are served in due course of time. Within 6 hours, at least 3 servings are there. those kind of trains are there. Are they differentiating that in relation to the airlines? You see, sometimes we feel that we are flying within a short span of time, but the total time and the price difference is substantial as far as this kind of situation goes. Innovation in pricing increases value, and that is the point of concentration, and authors have discussed this in a matrix formation, and we have slightly recustomized that, and the reference is given. It is Hinter, Huber A, and Lozu S, and Innovation in Pricing, Contemporary Theories and Best Practices, Rutledge. So, on one axis it is pricing innovation, and on other axis is product innovation, and you realize that missed opportunities, high speed trains is given in one of the quadrants, and in one of the quadrants it is pure innovation in pricing, IKEA and Ryanair, which we have talked about, and then Netflix, which is related to product and pricing innovation. Netflix example is there, which sufficiently satisfy both the criteria, and then there is one end which says high need for innovation, wherein nothing is satisfied. So, this way also we can look at it, whatever we are talking about. I would strongly recommend that you draw this matrix, you look into these elements in different quadrants, and then try to put up examples through your own understanding as an exercise for yourself, which will make you understand more about how companies should be doing or how they are doing as such. Expanding price paradigm. When it comes to pricing innovation, often consists of borrowing ideas that are already proven to work in other industries, and that has largely been observed all through, borrowing of ideas. Now, this pricing tactics here are grouped into 5 categories based on the objectives they help companies accomplish. Those objectives are not mutually exclusive. Many of the tactics deliver multiple benefits and could be listed in more than one category, and I would be elaborating upon them one by one quickly, so as to give you a larger perspective around how to look at slight maneuverability with a larger kind of a resultant in terms of whole of the scenario goes. And we have talked about this, there is slight overlap in this, and I do not contest that, but it is to make things summarily visible in front of you before I end this section. So, here comes the expanding price paradigm with reference to accommodate different usage levels and preferences. So, mark this. Customers have unique needs in terms of how much they use a product. This is the reason why in many restaurants and coffee chains we see them offering small, medium, large. I told you last time that I prefer medium size. Some other innovative approaches to pricing goods according to difference in usage level and preferences are unlimited or all inclusive plans, a la carte, we have talked about that, metering, pricing by unconventional time increments, split usage, leasing and rentals, and so on. And you see, for example, this has also to be understood with a different kind of a perspective which we have been pursuing. Priorities of the customers are also changing, try and understand this. There was a time when one used to start his or her career, then we had to go for in general people used to go for marriages or associations and developing their family, and then house construction was a call for the day. So, early parts of life people used to start constructing their own houses to put up a permanency in whatever they would have or they wanted to have. So, and then they used to think in terms of a two-wheeler or two-wheeler in association with house, and then four-wheeler, and then four-wheeler plus, and so on. But now priorities have changed, people have started going for renting the houses more as compared to constructing their own houses. That comes later part in their lives when they think in terms of settling down. So, here whenever I am looking at my own students at this moment right now, generally people go for purchasing their vehicles first rather than houses. So, there was this phrase earlier, that there was an advertisement also in relation to that, and I will try to fetch it in when I would be working on when I would be putting up integrated marketing communication in front of you. So, there was this advertisement, Naya Ghar, Nayi Gaadi, that kind of a thing. But today, Nayi Gaadi, Naya Ghar. So, earlier it was new house, new car. Now, today the narrative has changed towards new car and new house, and so on. And then you see, going into slighter details of this. So, unlimited or all inclusive plans for people who like to consume heavily at a fixed price or want to avoid extra charges, this is one of the best pricing technique to offer. This method has been used a lot in travel and food industry. where customers are offered special packages which will not have any additional bill for them in future. For example, the only KFC in Canada that offered unlimited deals saw people drive 3 or 4 hours to dine at their location. This is very interesting actually, these kind of things are very important for us to realize. A la carte or bundled pricing, this kind of, and I refer to unbundled pricing, I referred to bundled pricing earlier. So, this kind of pricing is opposite to that of unlimited, as it is offered to consumers who choose the things they want and also do not want to pay for what they do not want. Why I should be paying for something which I do not want in this thing basically. So, airlines have been shifting to this pricing, as everything apart from base price is now being offered to customers ready to buy. This includes, and we have talked about that. So, cable operators are also now unbundling their offerings, giving consumers the channels, and we have mentioned this as well, and several other places, hotels, travel, food, even electronic equipment, even home appliances, gadgets. Everywhere we are unbundling the situation as such, and as I said many times, it is learned from another industry to be applied to one industry, which should not be there. The call should be that I should be focusing upon whatever I have to do and I can do best in terms of foreseeing innovation within the sphere of as far as my marketing or let us say elements of marketing go. Metering, it is similar to unbundling, but here the charges are transparently tied to small incremental increase in the usage. It is similar to how taxi charges on distance it ran, taxis they charge on distances they ran or run as per the count on its meter. Some good examples include insurance companies, Allstate, again a very good example which we have been using quite a few for quite a few times. Allstate introducing their mile-wise program where customers pay a low daily rate of insurance coverage plus a per mile fee based on actual driving, which saw the consumers having their premiums drop massively. I talked about it briefly earlier as well. The program was a big success during the pandemic when commuting came falling down, and that is a chord which I am connecting from my earlier discussions to this one as such. So, you see the point is that order as much as you can, or price as per usage, or unbundling the price, all these are tactical perspectives, and I am not saying that this should get fixed. Companies, they keep on maneuvering from this tactics to that tactics continuously in terms of how market is shaping, priorities are changing, what their AI is telling, what their consumer behavior understanding is getting developed in due course of time as far as. Now again, pricing by unconventional time increments, and again this is generating a chord. Changing the traditional time increment of pricing can be powerful tool to activate customers for whom a higher price is prohibitive. Higher price is a point of concentration for all the companies who always look for market expansion or micro segments, and largely all of the world is trying to do that. So, this is a puzzle which one has to reduce, one has to solve, I should say, in terms of going ahead in terms of making the complete value chain get further strengthened and market opportunity get further developed. Rather than renting by the day or week or month, Zipcar changed the existing practice by renting the car by hour. There are several, and historically it has been used in hotels and especially airport hotels, wherein passengers are transiting for a while, they have to take a connecting flight and there is a 4 hours or 5 hours window, they want to take rest, and by morning flight they would go to some destination where they are having a meeting immediately after they board off. These kind of things they have been helping in terms of per hour charges at the airport hotels. So, Zipcar enabled users the option of getting a car for smaller and emergency commutes as well. Spotify currently offers their premium services for single day, for a week or monthly or yearly basis, adding more customers and so on. Largely many of the places we can find this. Split usage, leasing and rentals. These pricing models appeal to customers who cannot afford or do not want to own a product. Split usage works well for high price assets that the typical owner does not use often, second homes, private planes and the like, and usually involves selling fractional ownership interest in the asset. Today home share is a very common thing basically. Recently I found a very established colony or a group of houses made in a hilly area in Himalayas, wherein people have purchased those houses and they would also be staying there for a while, and otherwise they can put those houses or spaces on rent with the help of the construction company, the colonizers. So, vacation timeshares, as I was saying, renting of clothing, tuxedos, yachts and private jets and so on. Affordability to purchase can vary between customers and are impacted by many factors like inflation, recession, as I said, it continuously gets evolving. Companies that offer financing alternatives which are form of pricing can help people afford goods and services within their cash flow constraints and so on. It is a fluctuative world, employment gets fluctuated. Today you are planning for a vacation, you have done that, you are about to do that, and in the meanwhile everything is shaking up in terms of as far as the steadiness of things in your income goes, and there are several examples. You have purchased something. So those kind of things, they come to support the customer in due course of time. Some of the ways of making pricing more attractive by financing are payment over time, prepayment, capped or flat rates, future options as well. So now quickly looking at payment over time, both brick and mortar and online retailers have expanded the options for paying over time, which includes buy now pay later. Lock-in price is a very common thing nowadays, and layaway plans and installment loans. This is partly because of growth of third party financial companies. There are many places wherein you lock the price and then there are very specific cancellation charges, or there are no cancellation charges at all, and then many times you book, then there are some cancellation charges. So if you get insured against those cancellation charges, then that would get neutralized by paying something extra, and there are several kinds of such kinds of things which are happening. Automobile, mobile phones, laptops are all now available for purchase with an option to pay later. We already have talked about the significance of EMI in aiding the iPhone sales in India and so on, and everywhere in this world, leave aside India. So prepayment for companies, prepaid plans reduce the costs of delinquencies, bad debt and billing, which is, you see, everyone wants that money should immediately come to them. So that is a very natural kind of a thing, and if you are pricing that way, then definitely you are looking for kind of advance revenue sort of. The concept of prepayment have been made popular by the cellular companies and network providers that provide prepaid plans to the users. Car rentals and hotels are now experimenting this by providing prepaid, often non-refundable reservations. On the other side, just to put up things in front of you, there are many companies which now prepay the salary as well. Now, that is again an interesting thing basically which is happening on. I know few organizations which pay salary on the day of joining, with the pretext that definitely someone has joined to stay and they would work happily if they are paid in advance. Capped or flat rates. These pricing plans appeal to customers who prefer certainty to surprises. Part of appeal of ride sharing services, Uber and Lyft, is that they quote a flat rate for a trip at the time of booking, avoiding the uncertainty created by metered taxi services and so on. What customer wants, that is always there. How value chain can be strengthened, that is always there. How market opportunity can be developed, and how pricing can support product innovation, how product innovation can be coupled with pricing innovation, how pricing innovation can be concentric. This is what we are continuously trying to build up in whole of this sphere, and this is the last section in as far as the pricing goes. So future options. Future options is when companies allow consumers to buy their product or service similar to how investors buy an option. Hopper, the fintech travel company, and this is interesting, has a price freeze product that guarantees the price of an airline fare or a car rental or a hotel room for a fixed time. Nearly 20% of hotel bookings on Hopper are frozen before being purchased. This is now seen in the gold business when the customers can lock the price of the gold much ahead of buying them once, hence avoiding volatility. Now there are few more elements. Many consumers find pleasure in getting good bargains and discounts, hence marketers often provide them with offerings that shows them how much they are saving off the regular price. Saving off the regular price. This is to build a continuous attraction in terms of as far as your side goes. So mixed bundling, volume discount and progressive pricing. Mixed bundling is, this strategy combines different products into a package. We talked about unbundling, so this is mixed bundling, and that package is at a single price. So mixed bundles work best when many customers are like to be interested in all the included components. Trying to combine services that appeal to different kinds of people can prove less effective. Here one more important thing which I want to add is that tactics motivates you to think from this side and also from that side. So, once you are thinking from this side and you implement something, you can go that side and you unbundle also. So, that is how tactics motivates you to keep on being innovative in what is to be done in due course of time. Examples include fast food meal deals, Happy Meal, McDonald's, symphony, ballet and theatre packages that include tickets to multiple productions and bundled plans for homeowners, auto and life insurance policies. I remember in my student days there was this kind of a perspective that you buy one cinema ticket, and within the mall, if you are moving from one cinema to the other, you can move with the same ticket. You just get your hand stamped, and within that time sphere you can go anywhere. And that way you can, if you are not liking the movie, then you can just shift the movie halfway, and then you can sit back to finish that movie which you started seeing from halfway. Volume discounts. In this strategy, the customer is encouraged to purchase more than they otherwise would. Volume discounts can be especially compelling to businesses when the marginal cost of a product is negligible, and we have talked about this cost perspective earlier as well. Warehouse clubs such as Costco have built entire businesses catering to consumers who enjoy the discounts that come from buying in large quantities. Progressive pricing. Here the prices start out, pricing definitely should be progressive in nature, and innovation in pricing is actually progressive, but here we are talking of progressive pricing. Here the prices start out at a particular rate and will increase at set intervals of time. It is most widely used by events and conferences, of course. Progressive pricing is also a good way of rewarding loyal customers who usually make the purchase earlier, creates a sense of urgency, and at the same time incentivizes commitment as well. Many travel agencies, event organizers, hotels provide early bird offers that works on progressive pricing. When you are launching a good model in automotives as well, and when you are coming up with a good housing also, good housing accommodation, good scheme, then also this can be implemented. Then there are certain cases when there is uncertainty in describing the value. Businesses face an unusual challenge when deciding what to charge for a new offering, and I would be talking about these kind of things in marketing of innovation as well, or an experience offering or an experience that is happening just once, because they have little historical data to guide them. This is very important because you do not have a precedence here. So, then you go for auctions, royalties and sales commissions and dynamic pricing. And auctions appeal to people who hope for a bargain if bidding proves weak. This model can be especially useful for sellers who are uncertain what to charge. For example, eBay, we have talked about this. For years, Warren Buffett auctioned off for charity the opportunity to have lunch with him before 2022. The most a bidder had paid for experience was $4.57 million. But when Buffett announced that 2022 would be the last lunch he would offer, the auction garnered US $19 million. Huge as far as the situation goes. Royalties and commissions. In 2020, Chick-fil-A charges franchisees just $10,000 to open a new store, but then collects a 15% royalty on sales and 50% of the remaining pre-tax profits according to the Business Insiders. You see, this example justifies as far as royalties and the strength of royalties and commissions. Then comes in dynamic pricing. Due to computerization and advancement in technology industries like airlines, hotels, and we have been repeatedly using these kind of examples which are more visible as compared to others. It is not that it is not present in others. So, they have started adjusting their prices minute by minute according to supply and demand. It is also widely being used by sports teams, musicians in pricing their tickets. Uber has introduced surge pricing that increase price of rides in peak hours and so on. And then there are other elements. These are some of the pricing models that can help companies operate more efficiently: off-peak pricing, subscriptions and initiation fee as well. There are several kinds of things which we can talk about in terms of the pricing tactics perspective goes. It can go on and on for a while after this as well, but I wish to summarize it here that we look at it with the perspective of strategy. If we are looking at it with reference to long term, we look at it with the perspective of tactics. If we want to look at it from this side and that side, but concentricity of pricing is more important when we are talking in terms of innovation in pricing in relation to marketing mix. I would be coming back to you with lots of insights about innovation in distribution in my next section. Till then, goodbye.